The body suffers because the mind feeds it pictures and fantasies that the body only knows to be true because it's coming from the mind. The body is a subordinate. The body does only what it is told and shown to. This is the picture of the mythological story of Jesus Christ. I only do what I see the Father do. Mind, matter. Matter always follows mind. Whatever you do up top happens down below. It's all saying the same thing. It's just different verbiage, different words. It's nothing but word salad. Just stop, sit down. Don't think that everything is so deep or your intellectual prowess is so high that you can figure out what's never been seen inside of ancient statements. It's right on the surface. Right on the surface. In this, the mind is clearly delusional. It cannot attack, but it maintains it can, and uses what it does to hurt the body to prove that it can. But I thought you loved yourself. Do you now maybe understand the proclamation that until you learn to love yourself, you ain't gonna love nobody else? Understand you have been turning your own sword against you, and you haven't even noticed. And you think it's safe or has been safe prior to now for you to go out and partner yourself with people who are looking for a good time or a good person to carry out a lifetime with? Which one do you think you are? The mind cannot attack, but it can deceive itself. The mind cannot attack, but it can deceive itself. And this is all it does when it believes that it has attacked the body. It can project its guilt, but it will not lose it through projection. The mind can project the guilt that it carries or you carry onto other people or even onto your body, but it does not rid the mind of the guilt. And though it clearly can misperceive the function of the body, it cannot change its function from what the Holy Spirit establishes it to be. Remember, this is not up to you. Your design was finished wholly and fully before you ever had a say. The body was not made by love. You agree? It don't matter. Yet love does not condemn it and can use it lovingly, respecting what the Son of God has made and using it to save him from illusions. Would you not have the instruments of separation reinterpreted as means for salvation and used for purposes of love? You don't want that? You don't want the very instruments of the separation that has caused you to create illusions and illusionary identifications for yourself? You don't want that removed? You don't want that converted over into salvation, freedom, liberation? That's what you be talking about. That's what you say you want. Would you not welcome and support the shift from fantasies of vengeance to release from them? You say you want to be free. You say you want to be happy. You say you want to live in peace. But when somebody starts talking to you about putting down the fantasies, you want to mangle the two. You want to talk about how fantasies are incorporated in reality, and it's called magic. But when we look at A Course in Miracles, we see what magic is. We see that magic is the manipulation of a gift of God with absolutely no substance, absolutely no truth basis to it, and absolutely no service of the collective, which is what it is to love. Magic is selfish. Magic is intended for me. I am trying to manipulate one of the universal laws that I have found myself the master of so that I can get to my destination. So let's move on. Your perception of the body can clearly be sick, but project not this upon the body. So if you get it in your head that the body is sick, do not entertain this and project this onto your body. Start looking for symptoms, finding symptoms, going on Google, getting scared, reading about cancer. You know how we do. For your wish To make destructive what cannot destroy can have no real effect at all. Remember, the mind cannot attack. So when there is something up top telling you that there is an issue down below that is leading to your detriment, you don't have to partner with such a thing, because all of this is the divided nature in operation. And if you would but sit still and allow it to pass by entering into the perfect wholeness that was designed for you, which is the kingdom of heaven, which is said to be within you, which can be found through meditation, like you see the mythological character Jesus doing, stealing away to go and do what? Commune with his Father. Absolutely. Which is where? Within. Yeah, straight up. Yoga. That's what Buddha was on. Listen, what God created is only what he would have it be, being his will. You cannot make his will destructive. You can make fantasies in which your will conflicts with his will, but that is all. And the end result of that is not changing his will. It's just an inner conflict that eventually leaks out and onto those around you as you deny being the source of the entire conflict. Watch what we've done with our bodies. It is insane to use your body as the scapegoat for guilt, directing its attack and blaming it for what you wished it to do. It is impossible to act out fantasies, for it is still the fantasies you want, and they have nothing to do with what the body does. It does not dream of them, and they but make it a liability where it could be an asset. For fantasies have made your body your enemy, weak, vulnerable, and treacherous, worthy of the hate that you invest in it. How has this served you? You have identified with this thing that you hate, the instrument of vengeance and the perceived source of your guilt. You have done this to a thing that has no meaning, proclaiming it to be the dwelling place of God's Son and turning it against him. The body has absolutely no meaning. It is void of meaning. Your mind has projected what it is full of onto the body. When it is full of light, when the eye is single, the whole body is full of light. When you are divided, when you are under the impression that you are separated, when you are double-minded, the body becomes exactly what the mind is, so that you can see in expression the contents and the toxins that it will serve you so much to put down. But instead of us going inside when we see these things, we attack other people. We attack the people that the conflict shows up in relationship between. We attack the person for not telling us that they were going to be out later than they were supposed to, when we got insecure and we started overthinking and started wondering if they were being faithful after we told them that we trust them. We don't go inside and deal with our internal sloppy thinking. We judge other people around us as having sloppy behavior, as not caring enough, as not being as real as we are, as not having the communication skills that we have. And I promise you, these are your reflections, and your judgments of them are truthful declarations of yourself that you probably would love to deflect anytime they're turned your way. You should be careful when you're speaking on people. This is the host of God that you have made, and neither God nor his holy Son can enter an abode that harbors hate, and where you have sown the seeds of vengeance, violence, and death. The Son ain't going there. God ain't in none of that. This thing you have made to serve your guilt stands between you and other minds. The minds are joined, but you do not identify with them. You see yourself locked in a separate prison, removed and unreachable, incapable of reaching out, as incapable of being reached. You hate this prison that you have made, and you would destroy it, but you would not escape from it, leaving it unharmed without your guilt upon it. Yet this is the only way that you can escape. The home of vengeance is not yours. The place you set aside to house your hate is not a prison, but an illusion of yourself. Every illusion of yourself becomes what seems like a prison that confines you and chokes the life out of you, to the point that you don't have the energy to extend your true identity that you have lost sight of, because all you see is the guilt that you harbor from what your body has done outside of the control of the true nature of yourself. You mad at yourself. You've judged yourself. You told yourself you were somebody else. Then you got upset that you operated as the person that you told yourself you was, and you judged yourself again. And then you went and you remade yourself again. And most people spend their entire life going through this cycle over and over again, kind of like walking around a mountain for 40 years. What is the body? The body is a limit imposed on the universal communication that is an eternal property of mind. Not minds, mind. Your body, absent of definition, belongs to universal mind. It is a tool, a resource, a learning device. Not just for you, not just for your children, not just for your spouse or your significant other. It's mine. It belonged to mine. It belongs to God. But the communication is internal. Mind reaches to itself. It is not made up of different parts which reach each other. It does not go out. Within itself, it has no limits, and there is nothing outside of it. Mind is everywhere. Mind is within everything. If there is matter there, there was mind first. It encompasses everything. It encompasses you entirely. You within it and it within you. There is nothing else anywhere or ever. The body is outside you and but seems to surround you, shutting you off from others and keeping you apart from them and them from you. It is not there. There is no barrier between God and his Son, nor can his Son be separated from himself except in illusions. This is not his reality, though he believes it is. Yet this could only be if God were wrong. God would have had to create differently and to have separated himself from his Son to make this possible. He would have had to create different things and to establish different orders of reality, only some of which were love. Yet love must be forever like itself, changeless forever, and forever without alternative, or it's not love by the definition. And so it is. You cannot put a barrier around yourself because God has placed none between himself and you.